Hey guys, you chick checking in. Quick video that I wanted to talk about, and it's kind of this realization, this really odd realization that I found myself in, and it was kind of this loophole. So the other day, as you guys know, I kind of had some computer issues, so I kind of rebooted my system entirely. I pretty much just reformatted it and just downloaded all my old software back. And my friends informed me that, hey, you can actually play your physical PS2 games that you own into your system and use it on PCSX2, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So the moment I put it in my disc and I saw it run, I got kind of depressed. I went over to my PS3 shortly after, and I played my games on a disc, and this realization that I hit is that we don't own anything, because everything is DRM based on PC. What do I mean by that? Sure, we can buy games, but the way I see it, we really have this intellectual property / physical ownership. We do not truly own the game, because if Steam went down, or when Steam goes out of business, or whenever it goes out of business, or unless that conglomerate just can sustain itself for however many years, unless they go out of business, that we're all going to be screwed out of our games. Now, of course, we could obviously back up all of our games onto hard drives, but until somebody actually makes that DLL, that crack, that fix, that patch, or whatever, we will always be at a loss of our games, and we cannot always rely on Steam to play them. Because if you just go into the directory and where your Steam games are actually saved, you will actually find yourself not able to play the game unless you are playing it through Steam. And as another example, if you're actually playing a game and you are trying to launch another game actually through that, Steam will be like, hey, you can't do that. You need to actually close one of the existing programs. Obviously, your computer might not be able to run two games at the same time, because we are not all Linus who can play 6 games on one system. But the realization I'm talking about is that we do not own anything. Like, playing on console has actually made me happy recently, because I've been playing Black Ops, some Dark Souls. Then again, I'm playing Dark Souls on PC, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and stuff like that. But it's making me feel more and more like I kind of want to get a console, just because I know that if I buy something, I'm always going to have it. And this is really attacking my philosophy, because I do enjoy buying my anime in Blu-ray, and I'm kind of more of an anime watcher than a manga reader, just because, like, anime is much cheaper, and I don't feel as bad about reading like scanlations for the latest manga. But manga can be expensive, especially in the long run. Of course, it's like $5 to $10 or like $5 to $15, but in the long run, that can obviously add up. And with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, this is kind of off topic, but with Funimation losing the licensing to that, I'm not sure if they're going to relicense it. I probably need to end up buying Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood 1 and 2 before March 31st, where they lose the license. Anyways, back on topic. It kind of makes me want to not go back to console, but it kind of makes me want to go back to console, just because I feel like I just don't own anything. But just the versatility of PC to play, fight game with my friend Lawrence C, to playing like Left 4 Dead with some friends, Battlefield, getting superior ports sometimes, even if the community has to fix it, which I did make a video about earlier. It just kind of frustrates me. It makes me wish that I own my games. And for all the people that don't know much about PC gaming, 9 times out of 10, if you actually buy a game physically, like you buy the DVD for the game, like say I went to go buy GTA 5 or like Fallout 4, 9 times out of 10, those are actually the installation discs, which you're going to be downloading that exe. If you just buy the game off Steam, you're going to be downloading that exe. Then it's going to be extracting and installing itself onto your it's going to be installing itself onto your computer. And with that, you're also going to get a Steam code, and the Steam code is going to be activated directly to your Steam, Uplay, Origin, Greenman Gaming, GOG Galaxy, whatever DRM service is really in the power at that time. So it's kind of just me being frustrated, and it's kind of battling with my philosophy between like physical ownership and digital ownership. It's funny because I do like to own books digitally, but I'm kind of leaning more towards the physical format. It's kind of like my anime collection. I do enjoy physically collecting things, but I just kind of like the idea of digitally owning something, because I can never break it or scratch the disc, and it's always going to work for me. Also, games as a as a byproduct of games not coming out physically and stuff like that, games are much cheaper, hence the Steam sale. The Steam sales that are frequently happening. But I don't want this video to drag on too long, so tell me what you guys think about this from a PC gamer perspective, from somebody who has actually owned a console. And it's making me just kind of want to get a PS4 and invest a little more money into that than I do with my PC. Then again, if you guys don't know about my PC, i7 overclocked, water cooled, 980, 760 for PhysX, and I render my videos on the 760, and my 980 is primarily used for gaming. I don't know, it's just, something just doesn't sit well with me that I don't actually own any of my games, and I don't know if it's from a physical front and me of my beliefs on buying like anime and stuff like that, because it's really too cheap not to buy nowadays, because, you know, anime is much cheaper, but I don't want to. That's a different conversation for another day. Anyways, tell me what you guys think about my realization. Tell me if you have come to this realization and kind of any thoughts that you have or any conclusion. If you have just come to this realization, what do you think about not actually owning your games but owning the intellectual property? And that's a fact. We do not own anything, and unless Steam goes under and they make a way that you can just download it straight to your machine, then yeah, I don't know what to believe in. So, like I said, tell me what you guys think about this. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitch also, because I will be doing a lot more streams with my friends, my alternate personality, as some people like to call it. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Take it easy.